My experience is really difficult to put in words because it's so far from the norm and it's so far from any other female that I've met.
See a woman press slamming men.
And you beat the man.
I beat him silly. All of our characters are a little bit of ourselves. Chyna is a powerful, strong woman. She's attractive, and she holds her own in a male-dominated environment.
Chyna was called the 9th wonder of the world, the single most impressive human being since Andre the Giant. Her presence was frightening, but on the inside, she was nervous. At the beginning of her career, all the male wrestlers treated her like glassware. She felt the weight of the spotlight and the pressure to perform.
To be thrust into the limelight like that overnight, she went from being at home to being on the road immediately.
But in every segment, there was Triple H by her side, with a steady hand to guide her.
You know, the Greeks used to always say the perfect form, and they'd make these statues and stuff. I can always envision her body as one of those statues because it's like the perfect form.
Joanie and Hunter grew up in the same town, trained in the same wrestling school, and even now, they realized they were living only a few blocks away from each other.
I remember the first time they came to my house as a couple. They were so happy together.
He liked Chyna's competitive spirit, and that she could match him and his best friend Shawn Michaels, not only in terms of confidence, but also in the gym.
I've never met somebody that can train as focused or hard as Chyna does. I just saw her as a person, and to be quite honest, I'm impressed.
They worked out together every day, pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
I'd be on the recumbent cycle, and I would just watch them do each other's elbows and chalk up and
She's a real powerhouse. I mean, you know, just her strength in the gym, her endurance in the gym. I mean, we train with Chyna on leg day or arm day. I mean, it doesn't matter. She'll kick our butt.
I hope you're ready to sweat, because I'm going to make you.
In their stable DX, Hunter and Shawn did a lot of silly segments. Meanwhile, Chyna was staring at the camera, unimpressed. But behind the scenes, Chyna loved to join in on the fun. She got along with everyone in DX.
One of the things that a lot of fans don't realize is the camaraderie that is inside a wrestling company like the WWE. She found some relationships in DX that she hadn't had.
Joanie Laura grew up in a broken home. The only constant in her life was her big sister, Kathy.
Whenever Joanie would talk about her life before she found pro wrestling, it was always one person, and that was Kathy. Kathy was very motherly in a lot of ways, looking after her and being a protector.
When her mother was angry, it was always Kathy who stood up for her little sister. But the real problem was their father, who was a heavy drinker.
I remember a time that he chased my mom around with a butcher knife.
Joanie's brother left home as soon as he could. Then her sister Kathy went to college. All they wanted was to get away, leaving Joanie behind, alone with her mother.
And I think Joanie, unfortunately, was sort of abandoned by Sonny and I, and she was stuck there.
It wasn't until she came to WWE that Joanie found stability in her social circle.
Joanie finally had found a family. Now she's got a couple of dozen brothers that would take a bullet for her.
But the same people that propped her up now would later abandon her, leaving her in a state she could never fully recover from.